How's everyone doing today? We'll be talking about the latest episode to Welcome to Derry, and this episode literally starts off where the last one ended. So, the first scene is basically Halloran coming back into the real world. He came out with a mindscape where Bill Cipher's trapped, and then the Indian dude, he starts basically having a seizure. Someone shoved a bottle of whipped cream down his throat because white stuff comes out of his mouth. His mouth starts foaming. Then we cut to Ronnie's dad, who's about to get arrested, who's about to get sent off to the big boys club and into Shawshank prison. But then, as he's he's literally about to be brought onto the bus, and there's an angry mob that are just basically pissed off at Ronnie's dad for doing absolutely fucking nothing. And then one of them starts, whips out a gun, runs at him, tries to shoot him. But when a bunch of guys go and make him point upwards because that's where the bullseye is, up in the sky. And then basically, he says to Ronnie's dad, you took my daughter. And before saying that, he said other shit as well. I don't really know what he said. It kind of just sounded like some bro literally came at him and started talking to him in gremlin language. I don't know, man started cosplaying as Crazy Steve. Oh fuck, that's actually the wrong order to scene. Before that, actually, the group also found Maddie, so they're at the hideout and they see a tent. Some travelers just moved in and made it their own home, so they go towards the tent, and it's Maddie who says he needs help. And then the way he describes how he escaped, he basically just said, it sleeps at night, so I just left while it was sleeping. So the military now is storming Pennywise's house finally because they found out where Pennywise is. They basically know all about the pillars and shit, and they're going into, gangbang the fuck out of him. So they're going into the house, and Halloran starts hearing voices. He starts hearing voices of his dead nan. Her ghost is following them, and supervising the whole mission, making sure that Halloran knows what he's doing. So then the Indian guy who's walking, he basically walks off of the ledge and accidentally drops into water. I don't know, it's just a bit of a surprise drop. So when Halloran goes in, he falls into the water, but he opens his eyes and he's in a big massive body of fucking water. I don't know, man just got teleported into the middle of the ocean. So he swims up to the surface and he's in the fucking bathtub getting foot rubs by his nan or some shit because he's just chilling in the bathtub. He finds his nan in the bathroom as well, and they both have the shine, so they're both communicating telepathically, and she says to him, oh, he's coming. So then they start hearing footsteps. Oh, it's going to be Halloran's alcoholic dad ready to beat him again with a bottle. So he opens the door. It's some dude, I think it was Halloran's dad. I take it was Halloran's granddad. It would make sense because the guy looks a lot older. He has white dandruff hair on him, so he's holding this little chained up box. It looks like the box from FNAF 4, and then he says it's time. So then we cut back to two more soldiers that are wandering around in the sewers. I'm fairly sure they're looking for Halloran, and they hear Pennywise giggle. He's giggling to himself. He's look at these two little gay fucks just looking for their friend. So they hear footsteps coming from the tunnel, and then some fucking boogeyman from the darkness just points at him, and then Uncle Sam pops out of the darkness and says, I want you, and then just rushes at him. And you know what's so shit? We don't even get to see him kill. We just get to see a FNAF fucking 2 jump scare of some old elderly man in a hat and old Uncle Sam uniform. He just rushes at him, makes a scary noise, and that's it. That's how the scene ends. We don't even get to see him getting killed. Nice. So are we dealing with budget cuts here? Why couldn't we see the kills here? So we cut back to the Indian guy. He's with some random ass soldier, and it's just him and this guy now. And the Indian guy says, yo, we're getting close to it. We're going to break in and raid its place. So then the guy, it's a soldier's Halloran, is that right? He turns around. Halloran just fucked off because he's getting bored of this shit. He wants to do something more interesting. So then the Indian guy, taking this opportunity, he starts darting off, running away. And this makes no sense what just started happening here. I don't know why the Indian guys start running away. They're literally lost in the fucking sewers. There's a really high likelihood that he's going to get found, bump into the soldiers, or he's just not going to escape. He just randomly started running off. And then the soldier guy, he just starts shooting at him. It's motherfucker, you need him to guide you to it. Why are you shooting your GPS signal? That's like me driving, right? And my GPS is telling me where to go, and I get pissed at it and fucking grab it and throw it out the window. It's stupid and dumb, right? So, and also as the Indian guy ran off, he dropped his little magic stone dagger thing that's supposed to, they're supposed to shove up Pennywise's asshole. So then we cut back to Halloran, who's inside of, he's inside of the backroom dream dimension or some shit, because then the dude, his granddad, I'm assuming, starts crashing out on him. He starts saying, you think you're so cute communicating telepathically. I know your little dirty secrets. I don't have to read your little fucking diary to know that to know what you've been doing. Yeah. I know what that bitch is telling you. And basically, his nan is basically telling you, no, don't fall for it. He's just trying to rage bait. So then he's like, open the box, and he's like, nah. And then he literally actually does start rage baiting. He's like, oh, you better put that box back around. Yep. And then the grandma goes, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna do fucking nothing. You are a little bitch. So then basically he says, all right, you know what? We'll both do it, like grandson, like son, like granddad. So he basically starts counting to 3. This kind of reminded me of the scene in It Chapter 2 where Vicky, the little girl, goes out to Pennywise, and he starts counting to 3, and he just takes a chomp out of her. So he starts counting to 3, and when he's like rage bait, he's like, he starts making like his fingers tap dance on a FNAF 4 box, and then when he gets to 3, the box opens up, and I have no idea what was going on here as well, because it honestly felt like Halloran was like having a concussion or some shit. It genuinely felt like grandma just like whacked him in the back of the noggin with a metal baseball bat. Because like there's like loud noises and shit. There's just colors. It's kind of getting a bit blurry. All I can really see and make out is basically the grandma was just laughing and just like just basically smiling at him and laughing at him. So we cut back to Leroy and this random ass dude, Polly. I'm fairly sure Polly was the guy who helped them fight off the 4 boys that were early for the gay sleepover back in episode 1. Basically, he's with Polly, and then they hear, Leroy hears his wife, and his wife comes down into the tunnel. She couldn't wait any longer. She's like, Leroy, I want to go home. Then why the fuck do you come here? You think this is your new home then, are you? You're living like a rat. So, anyways, Leroy's talking to his wife, but Polly doesn't even notice anything there. Polly thinks Leroy's forgot to take his med. Polly thinks that Leroy's a schizo now. So usually, like, I don't see anything. So then, basically, their lights start short-circuiting and shit, and then Leroy's wife starts, twitch and starts, go stiff and all, and then she turns into a werewolf monster, and this is a bit shit how they done it. Basically, the werewolf monster, it wasn't even a full werewolf monster. Her head just turns into a werewolf, and that's it. And she basically just, like, it glides at him like a PNG, like that, and Leroy shoots him in the head, and then she falls down and collapses, and then when Leroy goes to check the body, she sort of smiles at him like she has a buck tooth, and then she just gets whisked away into the toilet dimension or some shit. I don't know, it looks like something just took her away. So we go to the group. The group are also going into the sewers because, since they know about the magic dagger and shit, since they know about the pills and all, they can basically take the pills to stop him from hallucinating. They're in the group. They're also gonna go and try and kill Pennywise. And as they're walking around, Marge bumps into a body, and she starts freaking out. And then the group starts panning around, and she starts seeing Pennywise's art gallery of all his like fresh victims and shit. And they also find Manny's dead body. So they're now freaking the fuck out more because who the fuck is this guy that was wearing Manny's skin meeting them? They're literally getting jebaited and clickbaited IRL by a skinwalker because that can't be Matty if he's already dead. So then as the group is freaking out, Matty starts doing a little bit pole dance. He's getting ready for his new gig at the strip club. So he starts spinning around, singing a song, slowly transforming into Pennywise. This is probably like the best scene in the whole episode, I'm not gonna lie. And then he transforms into Pennywise. The group runs away. Pennywise hops down. And then as Lily's running with the group as well, she trips. They leave him and be like, alright, see you later. See you, Lily. Can't see anybody. Sorry. And then we cut back to Leroy, who's with Polly. And then they start hearing the kids' voices. Leroy sees his son Will come around the corner, but Leroy, he never wanted to have a child in the first place, so he's getting ready to, do that abortion. So Polly sees Will as well this time, so he knows it's real. So right before Leroy shoots his own son, Polly gets in the way, basically, takes a shot for Will, and he basically accidentally killed Polly. So then Leroy and the kids leave. They basically just get out of the sewers. Then we cut back to Lily, who's on her own. She ends up running into a dead end, and then she turns around. She sees Pennywise just standing there in the darkness, and he basically starts like taunting her, rage bait, and be like, "Oh, you convinced all these people to come down into my shit shack, but you're such a good friend, but a bad daughter." And he basically says it like that and turns into the pickle monster, the Pickle Rick if he was on heroin. So the Pennywise starts walking towards her. He goes into like his monstrous form. He whips out all his like little teeth and shit. He goes to bite her, but then he gets sort of stopped in like his tracks or some shit. Like, I don't know, someone just super glued the steps in front of him and now he can't move. But turns out the dagger that the Indian guy dropped earlier on happened to be at the exact same location where Lily is, and that's basically in between her and Pennywise. So then Pennywise basically starts to back up while also tweaking. I don't know. It's like he's trying to vomit up like a bad drink or a bad food or some shit. He's like backing up while also tweaking while trying to resist the urge of like food poisoning. And yeah, pretty much that's how the episode ends. Yeah, that was me doing. Welcome to Derry, latest episode. See you later.